Soccer is truly the world's game. Millions and millions of people, young and old, enjoy the game as players, coaches, and as fans. As parents, we cheer on our young athlete to offer support as they pursue their goals of fun, family, friendship, and fitness through the world's game. The world's top players began their journey to the World Cup in a backyard, a local park, or inside their family home kicking the ball with their mom, dad, siblings, or neighborhood friends. As parents, our function in the game of soccer is to aid our child's efforts in growing the spirit without limiting the child. If you participated in sports, think back to how it made you feel to hear your parent on the sideline supporting your efforts and the look on their faces as you gave your best. From the first time a child touched a ball, they generally all seek to improve and enjoy the game. Developing these young athletes' abilities is fundamental in how the game will continue to progress, and more importantly, instill the passion and character building blocks for our future generations. The spirit of a child knows no bounds until limited by adults. It is the mission of both the Recreation and Coaches Committees of U.S. Youth Soccer to promote the growth of the game in the United States. We must properly prepare and encourage children to find the game within. With an overview of best practices and philosophy, answering questions ranging from how to be supportive soccer parents and how to meet your child's needs, to the ride home, as well as dealing with your child's coach. We believe this tool will be a great asset as you support your youth athlete by instilling a positive learning environment for generations of future World Cup players and world leaders in life. Did you know that U.S. Youth Soccer is the largest youth sports organization in the country, registering over 3 million players from under 5 to 19? More kids play U.S. Youth Soccer than any other sport in the United States. Each year, parents register their children to play soccer, but very few have ever stopped to ask why they play.
Well, the most fun part about playing soccer for me is that I'm with my friends, and if I mess up, they really just kind of encourage me instead of down me.
What I like about soccer is to have fun with my friends and have my parents cheering for me and learning new skills at clinics.
As a parent, it is important to understand that children have 4 basic emotional needs in organized sports. These youth athletes want to play without unhealthy pressure to win imposed by parents and coaches. Although they may spend hours watching and mimicking their favorite professional athlete, they want to be treated like children, not miniature professionals at their games. As their parent, your child will look to you as a role model for sportsmanlike behavior that help make participation fun. And finally, youth athletes want to play without adult-imposed pressure for financial gain inspired by professional or big-time collegiate programs.
So at the game, what does your mom do when you're playing? That's a lot of fun, that's cool.
She sits down and just cheers for me.
Sits and cheers? So she does anything that you don't like?
Yes.
What's that?
When she yells at me for doing something wrong.
Really?
Yes.
How does she yell at you?
In anger, really hard.
How does that make you feel?
Sad.
If your child is new to organized sports, you might know that sometimes young players cry immediately when something is hurt. Some cry even when something is not hurt. Sometimes during a break in play, and sometimes even in the middle of play, somebody will come off the field in need of a bathroom. The passion youth players bring to the game is very pure and full of excitement. Some players will wear their uniforms to bed. That's right, socks, shorts, and jerseys. Some will want to wear them to school. There's something about that uniform, the number, the colors. They'll wear them anywhere you let them. Now, this excitement doesn't necessarily generate a full knowledge of the game. Sometimes a player will forget to go on the field when it's their turn, just as another will forget altogether that it's their turn to come off. While some children will be solely focused on getting the ball towards the right direction, another player could be distracted by something they find funny, such as a ball striking the referee. Remember, they're kids, and they're looking to have fun. Regardless of sport, athletic participation must be healthful, positive, and safe for everyone involved. It should be conducted in an environment that teaches values and ethics. It strengthens the community It promotes the competition without conflict and enriches the lives of the athletes. A good question to ask yourself is, how can you help create the right environment for your child?
Well, when they hear positive reinforcement from their parents, they're probably going to play better, as opposed to hearing negative cheering, which is going to make them get down, get hard on themselves. And obviously, giving them the positive feedback is going to make them want to play harder and make them play better.
How could you assist to give them the support they need? A great place to start is to ask them what they like about soccer and why they want to play.
I like to play soccer because it's competitive and it's fun, and also because the team about it, like how it's all a team, and like everyone has a job, like midfielders and defenders and forwards, and like it's a team effort. Like you rely on everybody else. They don't rely on one person. If they did, then you probably wouldn't do that good, or they'd have to be really good.
Encourage your child regardless of his or her degree of success or level of skill. Let them know that you support their efforts.
I think it's important to cheer on the whole team, not just your particular daughter or son. I think it's important that you don't single out a particular player. You reinforce the whole team, and I think it motivates them, helps them play.
I like it when the parents are just cheering, not telling us what to do, but just cheering us on to play better and, get the right, when we do good to cheer, and when we do bad, not to say anything at all, just encourage us to keep going.
The parents' responsibility is game time is just bring them on time and just cheer. Just come and give positive reinforcement to these young kids that are trying very hard.
If you can emphasize enjoyment and development of skills and team play, you are playing a critical role as a catalyst in the right environment. As you stress the importance of respect for coaches, and let the coaches coach while avoiding criticizing things such as strategies or team performance, your child sees the proper role model they are searching for. By not putting pressure on your child about playing time or performance, your child will be able to concentrate on what their coach has been instructing and know that your support is there. Your efforts to set the right environment will go a long way, especially when your child looks to the sideline and sees their positive role model, you. In an effort to keep the game safe, a referee may show a yellow card to a player as a caution in a game. To keep the right environment, there are a few things that you should consider as yellow cards for yourself. Don't live out your athletic dreams through your child. You can be too involved. Trying too hard is possible. You can be too serious. You need to release your child to the game. Remember, it's the player's game, not yours.
We've had a few games where some of the comments are negative, and that tends to feed on itself. One parent will say one thing, then another parent will say something, and then it'll just kind of escalate from there. Oh, it just brings the whole momentum of the game down. The girls don't get anything out of that. Typically, it distracts them from the game. They'll actually even stop to listen or look what's going on the sideline, which obviously can impact the game.
As we referred to earlier, be a positive role model, a positive parent. It's good for everyone involved. Let's look at a few, we'll call them, guidelines for the sidelines. From the sidelines, cheer for all children, even those on the other team. Really, it's okay. Applaud a good effort, no matter who makes it. Hey, it's even okay to talk to parents of the other team. They're not the enemy. Be a parent, not a coach. Resist the urge to critique. As we've learned, children dread their parents going over and over their performance in detail.
Some of the things that the parents say I really don't like they'll say stuff on the other team, especially the other team, because last week they were being mean to our players, calling our players names, unnecessary things and stuff, and their children were doing it.
Yell.
They yell. Oh, boy.
It slows me down.
It does? What do they yell?
Go for it, and it actually slows me down, not speeds me up.
A good rule of thumb is that if you're watching your child's game and you can't carry on a normal conversation with your friend, then you're probably paying too much attention to the game. Think of your local soccer field as a playground, not as a sports venue, because what may be appropriate at a stadium with professional athletes is probably not appropriate for young children at play. Keep in mind, kids don't see the other team as the enemy. The other team is full of their friends from school or the neighborhood. Regardless of who did what, they are likely to be playing together in your backyard or den after the game. As a parent who wants to create the right environment, you should focus on the process of playing the game and not the outcome. The objective at these younger ages should focus on developing over winning.
Well, it builds character, it helps their self-esteem. When they get out here and play, it's good that they learn to play for fun, but also it builds teamwork and it teaches them how to work together and build friendships.
To let the kids have fun. You know, I want the parents to enjoy it, but they got to understand it is a game for the kids. It's basically for them. It's not win-win-win. It's skill building. It's making it enjoyable for them to play and have fun.
It's true. Most youth soccer coaches are volunteers, especially at the recreational level. Did you know that less than 10% of volunteer coaches in the United States have had any coaching education? Kind of makes you think, doesn't it? As you know, children differ greatly. At U.S. Youth Soccer, we believe soccer is the game for all kids. That means that there will be all types of kids playing together with varying degrees of physical and mental maturity. These differences can provide quite a challenge. Your support can go a long way. Remember, let the coach coach. Know the proper time to ask questions. For example, during a game or in front of a small group is not the appropriate time. It's better to have a time to speak to the coach one-on-one. Would you like to help? Then get involved. Let the coach know that you're available. Don't forget your influence on your child and their attitudes. Don't undermine your coach's authority. Something you may not have thought about is there's a difference between a practice and a game. A typical practice is where kids are supposed to take chances, make mistakes. This is where they can learn with no consequence. Remember those guidelines for the sidelines that we talked about earlier? Apply those to practices as well as games. Practice sessions are important to your child's development as a player, as they will learn individual and group skills there. Your child will ultimately win by trying.
I try to reinforce what the coach says. Keep your feet down, when they're doing throw-ins. Just positive things and not, not really anything negative.
This team here, what we do here is we make it fun, play games and that kind of thing. We encourage the kids to have fun, not just at a game, but practice. The whole point of this is to make them enjoy it. I don't want them to come to practice thinking they have to run or anything like that. We come to practice to have fun. Like I said, we learn skills, but the skills are related to games, things that we do. We may play red light, green light, or we play shark game, battle games. We play a lot of things, and these kids just love it. The only thing I can tell you is that I've had these kids for a while and that none of them want to leave.
I'll talk to the parent after a game if need be and let them know that we need to keep, positive reinforcement as opposed to negative. I think that they enjoyed a lot. They turn around and smile and give you thumbs up and, especially at this age, they really dig it a lot.
We've talked about the players and the coaches. So what about referees? Is there anything a parent can assist a referee with? Do you know what the referee is there for? Simply put, the referee's job is to look out for the safety of the players. They help to make the game safe and fun. You might think otherwise, but being a referee is not as easy as it appears. Keep in mind that they are doing their best, just as your children are. Speaking of children, oftentimes referees of younger ages are still children themselves. Remembering that can make you think twice about disagreeing with a call. Let the referee call the game. They deserve respect and support too.
The funnest part about repping is definitely the money, like I just said, but it's being with the kids too. It's fun watching them, like the little kids especially. They're pretty cute when they play and they fall down. It's fun to watch. The parents can be pretty brutal. Like some games, in little kids games, they start off pretty good, and as you move up, they get more competitive. They start yelling a lot of things, and I don't think it's their fault. I mean, I just don't think they know the rules. If they knew the rules, then they would be able to calm down. They understand what the referees were doing, you know, and it'd be a lot easier for us and for them and for the kids, I think.
So you've been supportive before the game and during the game. What now? Oftentimes, the best time to show support is on the ride home. This is when you can best meet your child's needs. Remember the questions you asked and the answers you got as to why your child is playing soccer? The ride home from practice or competition is a crucial time for a young athlete. It's important to give them the freedom to process what took place during play on their own. Some questions to consider asking are, did you have fun today? What did you think you did well today? Did you learn anything new? If in return you're greeted with the sound of silence, give off the gentle sounds of approval. Or better yet, let them talk to you. Be sure your child knows you are there for them and support their efforts. Think about it. There's nowhere to run. They're a captive audience in the car on the ride home. They deserve to ride in peace without being unwilling victims of their parents' what we call station wagon syndrome. They may feel like talking later.
On the way home, if we lost, I would like to hear how well I did, how well my sister did, and just how well the team did. So like in soccer practice, if the coaches aren't saying something about it, then I just tell them what they're doing wrong, because we really communicate that way. Like if somebody's doing something wrong, we'll try to be nice about it and say, and we'll correct the problem and hopefully win next game.
When we win a soccer game, they're usually just telling me I did a good job and I did things right, but there's always something I did wrong, win or lose, and they'll tell me what I need to do better next time and stuff. And when we lose a game, of course, it's both ways. There's some things I did better, and there's some things I did wrong, and it's pretty much the same win or lose.
I start the conversation just by saying, well, I thought the game was good, except, well, when you started yelling a little bit, it kind of made me feel kind of disappointed, and then the conversation just carries on, and then we finally get to an agreeing point.
The greatest gift that you can give your child throughout their involvement in sport is support. When asked what it is they would like most from their parents in terms of support, most children suggest encouragement and acceptance of their choices. We as adults are guests at our children's games, because even if no adult attended, the children could still play the game. The spirit of a child knows no bounds until limited by adults. Thank you for taking the time to review this video and learning more about positive parenting and encouraging children to find the game within.